Okay, so what I want to show you today is how to create this. So let's go back to the beginning. So it's joining these shapes with lines and then the lines following wherever the shape goes. So if I have to move a shape, the line will go and just, continue to follow, oh, Jesus, wherever that shape goes. All right, so there are a number of ways to do this, and I've tried quite a few, but I found that this is the best way. This is my favorite, and I learned this in my course with School of Motion, the expression session, which I must say is a very difficult course. So if you don't have the 20 hours plus per week to put to it, then I would hold off until you do. Anyway, let's get started. So I'm gonna just start a new comp, just standard settings. I'm going to begin by drawing my first shape, and then I like to center my anchor point every time. So I'm going to press Y to choose that tool. I'm going to hold Control, Alt, and Home, and I'm going to center it there. And then I will rename this Circle 1 and duplicate, and then just move this wherever. Control D to duplicate, Control D, Control D, and then duplicate. Let's give this a more interesting shape. Oh, keep doing that. Oh my God, that looks disgusting. Okay, there we go. All right, excellent. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to add just a plain blank shape layer. So I've got a shortcut for that, which is F5, but you can also go up to Layer, New, and then add a shape layer. And I'm going to rename this to line 1, and I want to change this color by clicking on there and going yellow so that it's very clear which one is a line and which one is a shape. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is add a path. I also want to add a stroke to that path, and then a trim path, because we want to draw the line from the one shape to the next first of all. All right, so on our path, we're going to write an expression. So I'm going to Alt click on the stopwatch, and I'm going to first of all create my variables. I put VAR, P1, my first variable, equals, and then this layer from comp, open brackets, and I need to pick whip to the position of the first shape. So actually what I needed to do was select all the shapes and then click P. So I've got the positions open. Let me also lift this up so you can see this. Okay, so from comp, and then I'm going to, within the brackets, I'm going to pick whip to my first position, my first shape position. Remember to add your semicolon after your expression. And then I'm going to add my next variable, which is P2 equals this layer. I'm going to explain why we do this in a moment, why we have this layer from comp. And then I'm going to select in the center of those brackets, and then go up to my position 2, add my semicolon, do space, and then we add our expression here, create path. This is the one. This is an array, so it needs to be square brackets, P1, comma, P2, which is our variables, and then square brackets. And then if we click off, we have our line from the one to the other. So let me choose a different color here. So let's make this the same color as that. The line the same color as the stroke. And then boom, look how good that looks. And now if we move this around, the line will stay attached to those two shapes, which is super cool. But what is even cooler is if we change the circle 1 and circle 2 to index +1 and index -1, all we'll need to do is duplicate the line and put it between each of the shapes rather than having to change this expression every time. Sorry. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. Let's go index -1 and index +1. And basically what this means, index means this layer. So if you're saying index -1, you're saying this layer, but the one above. And if you're saying index +1, you're saying this layer, but the one below. So if I click off, it's still exactly the same expression, but the wonderful thing now is all I have to do is Control D to duplicate and stick it between the next two circles to get the next shape. And then the next line. And then Control D and do the same, and Control D and do the same. And there you've got all your lines drawn, which is perfect. So now let's add a wiggle to that position of the circles. And then, because I really feel like that demonstrates it better. So I've pressed Alt and I've clicked the stopwatch and I'm going to wiggle. And then let's say 2,30. That's basically the frequency and then the amount. So then all we can do is right click on positions, say copy expression only. Let's select all of our circles and go Control V. And then look at that. Super cool, hey? I forgot to show the adding the trim path. Click End, created a keyframe there. I'm going to press Shift and Alt and I'm going to move that keyframe forward 20 frames. And then I'm going to click 0 here. And then we can see, there we go, it draws the line. So you can do that for each of them and then each of them will draw the line. Hope that helps. Okay, bye.